guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Lauren. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're doing well. Today I'm super excited because I'm going to be sharing with you all of the new shades from Shine by SD. This video is in partnership with Shine by SD. I've done quite a few of these in the past, so I'm going to leave all of my videos down below where I'm swatching different shadow collections, giving you guys color descriptions. I always want these videos to be as helpful as possible for you in case you were looking to buy so that you can get exactly what you want and hopefully you can skip out on anything that you wouldn't. So that's like my main thought process as I try to give you guys swatches and describe the colors. I'm going to be swatching through some shadows from the Fantasy collection, which are these shadows here. These, I don't know, I get like this neon sign vibe from them, like Miami Summer, neon flip-flop from China Glaze. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting from those shadows. We have some Iridescent Multichromes on the bottom, so I swatched through those. And really, I'm super excited about the Duochrome shades that I'm swatching because all of those ones are, I think, under $10 a piece. Most of them are like at the $8 price point. And I know some of the other multichromes and other shadows from the collections can get a little pricey. So I loved going through these and giving you guys comparisons and really explaining the shine that I'm seeing because they are more affordable. And again, I know it can get pricey if you're looking at a lot of them. So that all being said, I do have a code with Shine. It's Lauren. It'll save you 10% off your purchase. So of course you could use that if you want to save a little bit of money if you decide to shop around. It's not monetarily affiliated, and always there's no pressure with any of my codes. And I do have a tutorial on this eye look, so stay tuned for this stunner if you're interested. I really tried in this video to give comparisons as well, just because I know that there's a lot. Like, just to give you an idea of the collection I got going, these are all past shadows. These are the new ones. So yeah, I tried to give you some comparisons. That way you're hopefully not doubling up if I felt like anything was similar. And I do talk about formula in past like intros of these videos, but I just want to touch really fast that I love how shimmery the Shine by SD formula is. I find them to just be like my style of eyeshadow, but I do think it's a unique formula in that it's a little bit drier. I don't want to say gritty, but some can be a little bit gritty. They're not going to be like a really smooth metallic, like liquid metal type of look. They're going to give you more of that sparkly, as I say, piecey as in pieces of glitter kind of look, which is what I prefer and what I like. So I love that. I was thinking about a texture or like shadow formula I could compare it to, and the closest thing I could think of are the Touch and Soul Metalist shadows. If you've ever used those, they're almost this in between of like a pressed and semi, like they're not loose, but they're kind of lightly pressed. And I feel like these shadows just remind me so much of those, where they're a little bit drier, but they have that sparkle and shine. So if you've ever tried those, that's what I get from these. So yeah, I just like to mention that in case you've tried other single shadows. I do think that Shine just has something a little bit different, and depending on what you've tried and what you're used to, it might be a little unique to you. So that all being said, timestamps are down below so you can get to where you want to go. These videos are always so freaking long, so let's just get to these sparkly swatches. All right, guys, so here are the shadows. We have a lot to swatch today. These are some duochromes here, kind of in this little quadrant. Then we have some of the Fantasy collection here, and then these are iridescent multichromes on the bottom. So I think I'm gonna start with the Fantasy collection first, then we'll go into duochromes, then we'll go into the iridescent multichromes. So yeah, let's get into it. All right, the first shadow here is called Think I'm Crazy. This is a beautiful green. On the website, it's described as a vibrant lime green with a golden shift, and I definitely pick up on that golden shift. It's like a yellow golden shift, and then I feel like there's also a bit of almost like a teal going on as well, and I can almost pick up a bit of orange. Here it is swatched out. Beautiful, it's kind of sparkly, and then the base on it is kind of transparent, but then slightly almost like red, but just barely. You can see it a little bit here. I also do have the other swatches, so hopefully you'll be seeing that. But this one is beautiful. I feel like this one is closest to Celebration, but Celebration's a lot more like actually golden, and I don't feel like it has as transparent of a base, so you can see kind of the difference here on my fingers. And I'll put a swatch of Celebration down just so you can see. It just has more of a base. It's not as sparkly, it's not as shiny even, and not as like sparkly overall. So that is Celebration. Another one that's kind of similar is Already In. This one's definitely closer But it has, like, again, a little bit more of a base as well. You can also see the base difference here. So not the same, but I feel like potentially if you have one, maybe you don't need both. If I picked my favorite though, I would say that it is the new one. Think I'm crazy. Just because it's a little bit more like sheer and sparkly, and the shift is a little bit stronger. Next is the shade Revenge. This one is really beautiful. It's kind of in the same category as like Glam Rush, where I'm seeing like, it feels like so many colors. There's like this icy kind of silver, but it's blue, but it's purple. There's like a pink magenta, but also kind of a greeny gold as well. Like there's kind of everything going on with this one. This is described as a baby blue with a strong shift of pinky purple with a hint of gold. I feel like I've swatched this one before, but I can't find it elsewhere in my collection. So I guess I haven't, but this one is really stunning. I definitely get like a strong, like silvery, almost green. You can see it there. And then it goes kind of pink and the purple. It's a really beautiful one. Definitely one of those stunning shades that has like a lot of shifts going on in it. I don't feel like anything is gonna be that close. I'm gonna swatch Glam Rush against it because you guys know I love this shade. So this is Revenge and this is Glam Rush. You can see they're definitely different. And then on the finger, this one is Glam Rush and this one is Revenge. And then there they are on the hand. So, I mean, they're both shifting similar colors, but they don't shift the same way in the light, if that makes sense. They are definitely different, but I feel like it's another case where potentially you could decide which one might be the one for you. If I had to pick one, I guess, you know, you guys know Glam Rush has my heart, but Revenge is beautiful. It's a little more cool tone too. I feel like that purple and blue on it are more cool, where this is a warmer purple. Next, this is a shade No Games, and as soon as I opened this, I was like, Mermaid Lagoon. Mermaid Lagoon, that's what this is. It's like that tealy blue, like the waters of Fiji type of blue, you know, where there's a lot of green to it. And then this has like a purple shift. The website describes it as a vibrant blue-green with a purple and blue shift. I feel like one of the things I like about this collection is that these tend to be, I don't know, I just feel like every single collection, I feel like I'm liking the formula even more than the last time. These are like more shiny, more almost kind of sheer, which I like. This one's pretty thin, but it still has that sparkle to it, and that shift. You can see it turning green, but it definitely has that blue and that purpley, almost pink as well. It is a stunning shade. I really like this one. It's a great one, I feel like, for summer. These shades always remind me of summer. And I don't feel like I have anything that even comes close to this type of blue. Maybe the closest we're gonna get to, this one here is a duochrome in the shade Shiver, but it's definitely not the same. So you can see here, it's more, yeah, a straight up duochrome instead of a multichrome. So, and I feel like no other blues, they've always been a lot more of traditional blues. This one's just Royal, and then this one is called Breathless. So definitely different. Moving on to the row of oranges. There are a lot of oranges in this collection. I was kind of like, okay, how, there's a lot, but they do all have a different shift. I was a little worried they'd be more similar than they actually are once you swatch them. So this first one here is called Rich Bliss. This is definitely one of my favorite ones. The base on it almost kind of disappears. You can see I have a bit of a chunk there, but it's very green. It's a very kind of translucent base on this one. I'm really gonna rub it in and you can see that orange coming through. There's also this like, yeah, tealy green. I see a purple when I shift it that way. And I really hope that you'll see all the different colors in the mirror swatches that I have, but I think this one's just so beautiful. Like, it's just a stunning shade. I would love to wear this just mascara, you know, that type of color to me. On the website, this is described as a vibrant chartreuse green with a pink and slight blue shift. This is a really beautiful one. It almost comes off kind of iridescent and then Ooh, you can see some of that pink almost. But then you can see the orange too, but it's still very transparent. And I'll compare all the oranges once I swatch them all. This one is called After Hours. This is described as a bright orange with a muted yellow shift. This one came a little bit broken, so I had to repress it. But it's repressed pretty nicely here. It definitely has like this vibrant orange shift to it. You can definitely see that. I feel like this whole fantasy collection really gives me almost like neon light vibes. Like I feel like Miami neon lights. That's kind of the vibe I get from it. But here you can see that orange. And then I do think it's a very muted gold. I feel like the shift on that gold isn't nearly as like, I don't know, as shiny as I guess it could be. There's almost a green tinge to it. And I feel like this one also has a bit of a transparentness or translucence to the base on it as well. Next is probably my favorite orange out of the bunch because it definitely has like the most sparkle to it. This is called Gradient and it's a fluorescent orange with a golden yellow shift. And it definitely has just, I don't know, I think it has way more sparkle than the other ones. And I am a moth to sparkle. I just love sparkle so much. You guys know that. I feel like the more you shear this out, the more you can see the individual sparkle in this. But if you want to add like more opaque of a look, you can also get something almost metallic looking. So it just kind of depends on how you apply it. It is a really beautiful one. There's almost like a red base on it. And I feel like this one has like a similar kind of golden and almost green and orange shift as a lot of these do. And you'll see in the swatch when I compare them, just the four of them, that they're definitely different when compared, even though it seems like they have to be the same if they're shifting between the same colors, but somehow it's different. They all look different for sure. But yeah, that one is probably my favorite out of the group, although the next one is quite beautiful as well. Next, this is the shade Daylight. This one's the most like true orange out of the bunch, and the shine on it is this beautiful like neon, like pinky orange almost. It's really vibrant, and even the gold shine on it is more like a golden orange shine. This is described as a fiery orange with a golden yellow shift, and yeah, ooh, you can see it there. I love that the golden orange, you know, instead of just gold. I don't feel like there's nearly as much green in this one. Instead, you're really picking up on that like fluorescent, like neon pinky orange that you see here. It's really beautiful. And then the base on it is almost kind of a gray green, but it's still kind of transparent gray. Some of the other shadows in the past, like from the Golden Hour collection, sometimes have a bit of that gray looking, like a silvery gray base. This one's really, really stunning though. I'm gonna get them all on my hand in order so we can see them and the differences. All right, so here they all are from the first one and over. They're definitely different. These two have that like pinky orange shift, but this one's stronger. This one has more of a yellow shift with it. This one doesn't. This one has like a blue teal to it that the other ones don't. So even though here they look a lot more similar, you can see in the swatch how different they are because of the shifts. I do want to compare some of the other oranges because some other oranges have come out. Why not while we're here? This orange is Tiger Lily. This is one of my faves. I use this a lot with duping palettes, but this one is just more of like an actual orange base. And then it has like a golden shift, but these ones are a lot more shifty, you know? This one here from the Dynasty 2 collection, I'm interested to see how this one is because this also has like the greens, the golds. So that's Summer Rush, beautiful. It's probably the most similar to this one here. This one's called After Hours. So that's Summer Rush and After Hours. If I had to pick between the two, I mean, After Hours is more transparent in the base, and so I feel like kind of the electricity of the flip's a little bit stronger, whereas this one is more of like an all-over color that also does, you know, shift colors too. I don't know. I probably would go with Summer Rush if I had to pick, but, you know, again, they're different, like they are technically different, but I feel like they're pretty similar, and maybe one you could choose between the two. And then last, this is Talking Tangy. This is from the Dynasty collection as well, the original Dynasty collection. And this one definitely has more of that orange base too. It's like if Tiger Lily had a baby with one of these multichromes, you know what I mean? Because it has kind of all of the green and the fiery neon, but it does have more of a true orange base to the actual shadow. So hopefully that was helpful. Technically all different. I'm telling you, when I got these shades in, I was like, okay, we have to have some repeats. And then I started swatching and I was like, well, nothing's like, it really isn't exact, like, you know, it seems like it would, but they are different. So hopefully these can help you make some decisions between them. I know, you know, most people want to pick like an orange or maybe two, not have 7. But also if you want 7, do your thing. Next is the shade Star Point. This is described as a fluorescent yellow with a fluorescent orange shift on it. This one I think I also had to repress slightly. I don't know why these two broke when I feel like everything was bubble wrapped really well, but it pressed back together. So this, to me, I don't see too much orange just on my finger. I definitely see way more of a green. Like it looks almost like a greeny yellow. And kind of same with the swatch. We'll see what translates. I get a lot of a golden yellow and then a green coming off. I feel like this one's maybe a little less like super metallic or super vibrant as some of the other shades are. It has this kind of soft buzzing velvet quality to it that's a little more, I guess, subtle instead of electrified or something to me. Oh, we see some orange there. Yeah, there we go. There's some orange peeking through. I feel like this one could be similar. Let's see. There's 2 from the Dynasties. These are both from Dynasty too. So this one is called Lucent. So I'll put Lucent over here. I feel like those are quite similar. You can see though the bases are definitely, I think, different. Like I feel like this one definitely shines brighter. They're very similar though. I think I prefer Lucent to that one. And then this one is called No Limit. And this one definitely has a pink shine. So we'll see that in the swatch. So definitely different than No Limit. But these two, Lucent and Star Point, I think it is, are very similar. And I think I prefer the more like the shinier one, and they just have a similar enough shift almost in the same ways too. So yeah, that's the comparison. It's kind of nice to have so many, so that way hopefully I can help you guys shop if you're interested in any of them. And you can get the ones you really want. Next, this is the shade So Sweet. This is described as a vibrant purple blue with a pink shift on it. It's very beautiful, and I think that's very accurate. This is one where the pink is almost this base for that purple blue. So that's really what you start to see, and you'll see that as it's on my hand. It's definitely looking way more purple blue. So on the website, I feel like the actual picture of the pan looks more purple, but I do feel like that's what you actually get here. You can see how purple and blue it is. And then when you just see the base, you can see that it's more of a pink translucent type color. It's really beautiful. Again, a very like neon light type of color. And I don't feel like there's that many pinks at all like this in the collection. Like really nothing's quite like it. This one is called Hottie. This is not the same. This is way more pink with an orange flip. It's not cool toned like that at all. This is Unexplainable. Another, like, this is stunning. If you're looking for a shadow, this one is absolutely beautiful, like multichrome. But again, totally different, which you can see just in the pan too. But yeah, nothing really like that one. So that's great. This is definitely one of the ones that gives me that neon, you know, vibe from this collection. Next is the shade Good Intentions. This is like a pink with a golden kind of orange look to it. This is described as a fiery pink with a golden orange shift. I definitely think that's what you're getting in this one for sure. Pretty straight up. So I'm trying to get it to shine orange. And also this is one with that like kind of silvery gray base. I'm sure I caught this one with the mirror, but definitely has a pretty orange shift to it. It's hard because I'm like, is this similar to other stuff? This one's a multichrome. I mean, these are pretty similar. They don't look it in the pan, but I feel like the shift is similar. This one's more sparkly though. This is the Iridescent Multichrome in Radar. So if you're wanting a similar color to this, but you want sparkle instead of something a little bit smoother, I would go with Radar instead. They're not exact, but they're pretty close. This one has more of like a neon orange. This has more pink to it. Those are probably the most similar because again, there's not like a ton of pinks, I feel like. in the collection, or all the pinks are definitely different. And the last for the collection, this is called Invested. It's a bright pink with yellow and orange shift, and it's definitely that. This one, oh, again, just is like summer. This is like the eyeshadow version and like duochrome version of like Flip Flop Fantasy or something, you know? Like, oh, it's so pretty. It's like a bikini. I don't know. It's just definitely like neon lights, summertime vibes to me. It's a beautiful one. Again, it's like that orangey pink shift. Swatch all the pinks together, including this one, just so you can see the difference. But another really beautiful one. I like it a lot. I like this one a lot. All right, so here are the swatches. I feel like these are very similar actually, like really almost too close to be in the same collection. If I had to tell you which one I like more, I don't even know if I could. That's so weird that they look so similar. They look very different here, but swatched because of the way the flips are, very, very similar. This one has like a gray base. I'll see if I can try to, like that silvery gray base. Oh, there we go. So you can see the silvery gray base on this one that this one doesn't have, but I feel like the way they shift is absolutely so similar. So I probably would go with Invested personally. Like I don't know. I like the way that it looks in the pan even better. So I guess that's my decision on that one. And this one's totally different. So glad I swatched those two, because those don't look like they'd be similar, but they are, and they're from the same collection. So like if it were me, I definitely wouldn't need both of them. Okay, I'm gonna swatch them all on my arm now though, so you can see them all in comparison and like the full collection all together. All right, so here are all of the swatches. I feel like in the wide, you can see a little bit more of a difference between the two. This one's more pigmented than this, so that's kind of nice to see. These are so stunning. It's always so hard. I try my best to capture like what all this looks like, but it is so hard to do them justice if you're not like right here. They're all so sparkly, so beautiful. Oh, I love them. This is like always what reminds me of why I like makeup, especially these types of shades. Absolutely stunning. I want to pick my favorites. I think if I had to like suggest, I'm going to pick 4 or 3. I don't know. Looking at swatches, definitely the first one. Think I'm Crazy is absolutely beautiful. I really love that shade. I really like Rich Bliss for something a little understated. Like I really love that. I love Gradient. I love this one here, which is called Daylight. Like all 3 of those are so pretty to me. I also absolutely love this shade, which is so sweet. I do like this last shade too, but I guess, I don't know, I kind of like this orange one. It doesn't have pink to it. I don't know, it's tough. Those are some of my favorites that like standouts to me. I think they're stunning. The blue's also stunning though. I don't know, No Games, I think it's called. They're all quite beautiful. I don't know if that was helpful, sorry. Okay, next we're gonna be going through all of these Duochrome shadows. I don't know if I've had anything that's like specifically just Duochrome. I feel like so much that I get is like Multichrome or a part of a specific collection, but these all in the back just say Duochrome. And I love this. Just, I wish there was one more so that it could be like a little, I don't know, 16 pan palette, but I think all of these look so good to, I don't know, I just really like how they turned out. Even just that top is so pretty. Oh, okay. Anyway, let's just get into these because there's a lot of these ones. This first one is called Striker, and this is a very unique shadow, I feel like, for the Shine by SD collection and range. I have like so many of them, quite a few of the line, if not almost all of them. And I feel like there really isn't like a silver, and that's what this is. It's a beautiful, sparkly silver. In person, you can see the difference of like these kind of like pink and almost golden sparkle in the swatch. Like you can see it, but I feel like on camera and kind of as a conglomerate, you don't see it as much. I don't know how to explain it, but there's something about it that's unique, but also it is kind of just like this really beautiful sparkly silver. And I don't have anything like this, like not even kind of close. So everything has been like a silvery blue, but it's definitely blue. And this is like an actual like neutral, like silver neutral. I'm like, I don't think there's any actual neutrals in the line. I've not seen that. It's all shiny, sparkly, and usually colorful. On the website, this is described as an icy cool blue with silver and slight pink reflex. Again, in person, I really don't see much of the blue. It's just like a cool silver to me. So really stunning and super unique, I feel like. Next, this is a shade Ice Storm. It's a light blue with slight silver shifts, but I also get some pink in there as well. It's a really pretty one. This one's quite different, again, from a lot of the other blues, and it's quite pretty if you like a blue. The shifts on these duochromes aren't nearly as strong, or there's not like so many more colors, I feel like, as some in like the fantasy collection I just swatched and in other collections I've swatched, but it's definitely a pinky purple shift on this one with quite a blue base. I don't get as much of like a super silver reflect. I just get that blue and then kind of a purpley pink on this one. And again, nothing's too similar. For the next one, I'll show some comparisons, but I feel like this has enough green in it that it definitely looks different than everything else. Next, this one is the shade Blazing Blue. Absolutely stunning. It's just a beautiful color. It is one of those like blue, pink, purple type shades. It's hard not to like a shade like this one. Like, these are just some of my favorite types of colors out there. Just, this one's also really dimensional. Definitely one of my faves. Mine's pretty delicate. You gotta be delicate. I feel like mine's just kind of loosely pressed. So, yeah, I gotta be gentle, kind of baby it a little bit, but so pretty. Definitely a stunning, stunning one. Ooh, the shine on it is pretty strong. I feel like it's a nice standout in this collection of shadows. This one's described as a light, vibrant baby blue with a vibrant pink shift. And also these shades, the duochromes, are quite a bit less expensive than some of the other shadows. This is $7 on the site, and I definitely feel like this one, so worth it. Absolutely stunning. You will not be disappointed with this. The only thing that maybe is gonna be similar to that one, this is Just Royal, but this one, it's just not the same. They're not the same. Just Royal has more of like an actual blue base. This one just has more complexity, I guess, to it than this one. It's absolutely, I don't know. If I had to pick between the two, I'd pick this one, but this one's beautiful still for like a sheer light blue. It's one of my favorite ones from the Dynasty collection, but I don't know. This Blazing Blue is stunning. Next, this is the shade Ring the Alarm. This one is stunning. This reminds me a lot of like Grisaille or Abrasion maybe from Cleona, like similar type color to that with the berry and the blue, but it's darker and deeper. It's beautiful. This one's not gonna swatch super well because it's a bit chunky, but this is the one I'm gonna do my look with so you can really see it in action. So pretty. This is like my type of duochrome for something sultry and sparkly and colorful, yet like still kind of neutral. Like, it's not so, I don't know, colorful, I guess, you know? You could feel still a little safe, a little neutral in it, even though obviously it's not. This is described as a burgundy red with a strong purpley blue shift. This is another one I feel like if the other shades, because the other collection's quite expensive, again, at like $17, and I think that's because those are more those multichromes. This is more of like a duo sparkly type shade. This one's $8, and again, I think definitely worth that $8 for sure. Next, this is a shade Mint Chip. This is described as a soft light green with a golden undertone, and that is definitely what it is. This feels like it could be a part of like the Golden Hour collection almost. I don't think there's anything in the Golden Hour collection that looks like this, but it just reminds me of those shadows in the way that it has that golden shift to it. It has a little bit of like a grayed base to it, kind of like those shadows, but this one's like a nice soft, like sea foamy green blue type of shade. It's nice and shiny. If you wanted, you could get it more sparkly by shearing it out, but it's not one of the extra sparkly shades. And I think maybe the closest thing to this shade would be Tickle Me. I think this was from one of the Golden Hours, so let's see. So there they are, definitely different. This one has more like blue to it. They're similar, but this one looks more colorful. This almost looks like a silvery gold, whereas Mint Chip still keeps a minty quality about it. Next, this is the shade Shiver. This is described as a light green with a slight pink and silver reflect. I definitely see the silver. I find this to be more of like a blue green for sure than just like a straight up green. I feel in the swatch it's looking a little more green, but there's definitely a blue to this one. I don't pick up on a ton of the pink. Like I kind of see it, but it doesn't have too much of like a flash of pink or anything like that. It's definitely more of that silver and greeny blue coming out on this one. I feel like this one and the last one are more of, yeah, like a metallic type shade. Like they're duochromes, so they have like something going on, but again, this one isn't going to be something like Glamorish that shifts like a bunch of different shades. And I feel like you can tell that on the website too based off of price, but these ones seem to be even more sparkly than something like this, even though they're both duochromes. Next, this is the shade Fall Back. This is another really beautiful one, just so sparkly. This is described as a vibrant green with a burgundy shift on it. Ooh, this is like a witch's cauldron. This is like a potion. That's like the vibe I get from it. But this doesn't really have too deep of a black base on it. So this is it. It's green. You can see a little bit of that black base, but it's not too deep and dark. I feel like I get almost like a silver reflect from this as well. The burgundy on it is still kind of tame. I feel like the green is more the shine on this, like that electricity comes from the green on this, but really stunning, super sparkly, super beautiful. I feel like it's similar to the next one, so that's the one I'm gonna show them up against. I'm just gonna swatch them together. This one's called Life of the Party. Another one, you can see the texture here in the pan. Absolutely stunning. So this is Life of the Party, and this one is called Fall Back. And here you can see the difference. So Fall Back has a bit more of like a tealy green to it, whereas this is more like a golden, limey, like warmer green, you know, to it. Ooh, they both have a bit of that black base. This also has a bit of a red to it. Let's see what the website says. Life of the Party is a vibrant lime green with a burgundy orange shift. Yeah, so pretty. Both of those, although they look similar in the pan, you know, they definitely are different, even if they look more similar. Definitely love those. I think both of those for $8. Stunning, stunning. I think the closest thing I might have is actually one of these Chameleon Multichrome. So I thought I would swatch next to it because I know this one has to be more expensive because it's that Multichrome, but it has that base to it. But that's what I'm trying to say is I feel like you can tell it has a way darker base. Look how black that turns out of the light. This one's stunning. This is called, I didn't think... This is called Ocean Drive. Beautiful shade, don't get me wrong. I think this one might be more like almost $20, like $18, $19, whereas these are both $8. And I just feel like they're both stunning as well. So price difference wise, you know me, I love a deal. So these are stunning. This next shade is called Georgia Peach. It's described as a yellow peach with a pink shift. Ooh, it's so pretty, you guys. I love shades like this though. It definitely has that like soft orange that I would say is like a peachy color instead of something too orange, you know what I mean? There's just something about it. It's pink, it has a little bit of that silvery type of base, but then it has like this nice like orangey golden color to that pink. Ooh, just romantic and girly and ruffles, and I love a shade like this. Again, I think this is a stunning one for the price at $7. I love that price point. Yeah. Love that. Love that. This one's called Sweet Candy. This might be my most similar shade, but it's not similar. It's really not similar. It's way more pink. They have like a similar shine in one way, but I think if you were thinking of Sweet Candy and you wanted one, I think Georgia Peach will do you just fine. I like it. I like Georgia Peach. This next pink is called Guessing Game, and this is described as a pale pink base with a silver shift and sparkly reflex of silver and teal. Definitely that. I mean, if you look at the pan, then you look at my finger swatch, it almost looks silver. You see way less of the pink than you expect, I feel like, or at least than I expect when I look at the pan. So this one is definitely more of like a sheer one. This and one of the other ones is like a Barbie pink, but this is like a a cool toned, I don't know, like, yeah, like Princess Barbie type of pink. The pink is not the star of the show, but it's more silvery. I don't know how to explain it. This is a hard one because it looks so different, I feel like, but it definitely has that coolness. I don't know. I just see this like on the inner corner of a pink look because it's still gonna shine. It's a pretty one and definitely unique. None of the other shades that I have are like this one. I like that kind of silver sparkle on it. It's kind of a thin shade, but it has a lot of sparkle. So I really like Guessing Game. This next one's called Pink Starburst. I freaking love that name. I think it's so cute. And I feel like it's pretty upfront with the color here. It's described as a vibrant pink shimmer. Yeah, that's what it is. I feel like this has a little bit of maybe like some golden, you know, like something kind of golden about the way that it shines. But really I would say like, if you're looking for a pink shimmer, this is it. That's what it is. Giving you that pink shimmer with that the tiniest bit of like a golden shift when it hits the light. Quite pretty. I do love a pink eyeshadow. I also just love pink. I'm like obsessed with pink. I'm sure you can't tell from my hair or my channel banner. JK. This next one is like, I highly suggest this shade. Okay, let's focus. This is Loving Magenta, $7, guys. This is like Barbie's Corvette, you know? It is stunning, stunning pink, purple, blue shade. I love this. I love it. It's so shiny again. Like, I feel like when I'm talking about these ones and really hyping up the price and all that, I'm saying that because I feel like this shade is like competing and giving the shine and sparkle at $7 that some of those other ones I feel like look like at the higher price point, you know? So love this. This is described as a bright pink with a blue purple shift. Totally is. So pretty. Oh my gosh, I love this. Live your Barbie dreams with this. It's so stunning. And you definitely get a shine of that pink. It's kind of hard to pick it up here, but you get that metallic pink at one point. You get that like purpley blue at one point. So stunning. Next, this is the shade Harvest. It's described as a gold with a peach shift. This also has some green going on though, for sure. And again, price point on this is looking like some of the other multichromes at $8. This is just so stunning. And I really like this one because there's something about it that is neutral. Like it has like this golden green shine to it, but it does have that kind of bronzy peach pink to it as well. You can sheer this one out a little bit more. It doesn't have too deep of like a base on it. I just think this one is a stunning one. And again, for that price, definitely a winner. I feel like it's a little bit of, you know, you got to be a little delicate maybe with this one. That's how I feel. But it's stunning, stunning, stunning. Love that one. Next is the shade Wine It Up, another $8 shadow, and another one that just has some really good texture, shine on it. Like, it's just so pretty. This is described as a burgundy pink with a copper orange shift. Ooh, it's kind of giving me fall vibe. A beautiful purple too. I feel like it's a more burgundy purple shade instead of more red. There's something about it that is stunning. Again, I feel like this one for that $8 is pretty dang good. I would be super stoked with this one. I love it. I feel like it stands up with some of those other duochromes, which I feel like Full Melody. Let's see what this one looks like against it. Oh, this is more deep. Oh yeah, that's more purple. So that's Full Melody. Definitely different. Okay. And Full Melody is a foil multichrome, and I just feel like even right here they're competing, and I'm pretty sure this one's quite expensive. So really like Wine It Up. All right, and last, this is the shade Fun Times. This is described as a blue shimmer with pink and purple shifts. I would say overall this looks definitely very purple to me. Like, it is a very purple shade. It's kind of cool toned. I don't get a ton of blue. Maybe in the base a bit, but yeah, it seems more purple, and then there's like this magenta pink kind of shift going on. Super sparkly, super pretty. There's almost like a silvery, like a warm silver going on. I wanted to be like a silvery gold, but that makes no sense, but it's kind of what I see. I feel like these cooler tone purples I don't wear nearly as much as like a warmer purple, but I think that this one is really stunning if you love purples, and again, pretty great shine and kind of shift and everything for the price of $8. So love that one. And now I will swatch them all out for you on my arm. All right, guys, so here they are all swatched out. Absolutely stunning. My arm looks like an absolute dream. Like I'm a fairy unicorn in heaven. Like it is stunning, so pretty, so sparkly. Again, I try so hard to capture what these look like. I think it might be out of focus, but maybe you could actually see better if it's out of focus. That sounds like it makes no sense, but okay, here. Let's see if you can see some of these close-ups. Just so pretty. So absolutely beautiful. If I had to pick some of my favorites, I definitely really love this first one. I think it's called Striker. Striker's absolutely beautiful. I love these two. Really, the blues just, ring the alarm is that one that's kind of like a bruise, you know? Blazing Blue is also stunning though. I really love the two greens in here. I love Georgia Peach. I love the magenta one. Loving magenta. I am loving that magenta. I love Harvest. Wine It Up is great. Like, all of them are beautiful, but those are some of the standouts. Ooh, I like that pink too. That's kind of silvery. Guessing Game. That one's stunning too. So yeah, really, really beautiful. All right, guys, and last here we have some of the Iridescent Multichromes. I know it looks like we just got a bunch of white shades, but they all have shifts to them, but these have more of that transparent base. I feel like Shine has done a lot of these, so you can see this kind of whole corner set up with a lot of them. So I don't know. I feel like these ones are different. I was trying to find some comparisons and I couldn't find anything that was like exact, but yeah, let's get into these ones. We're going to start off with Quartz. This is probably my favorite one actually out of the bunch. We're just happen to be starting with my favorite. I think I like this because it's kind of like a golden green shift on it, but it's very sparkly, very shiny. Really a stunning one. There's something kind of almost pink about the base, pink purple. See, you can see it there. Oh, so cool. Definitely just a different one. And it's almost like metallic. I don't know. It's a really pretty shade. This is described as a golden yellow with an orange and light blue shift. Again, I'm almost picking up some of that pink in the base of it, like the transparent base is almost pink. It's just so cool. So Quartz is probably my #1 favorite out of these. You could also use these kind of iridescent shades as highlighters. So that's another way you can kind of get some use out of them. I tend to use these as like inner corners or toppers or almost like transformer type shades, but that one is absolutely stunning. Next, this is the shade Secrets. This is described as a turquoise green base with a shift of blue and purple. Okay, that one's stunning too. Maybe not as sparkly, but you see that tealy green, blue, and that purple. Yeah, that's pretty. I think that, honestly, because in the pan, these look white, even though I love sparkle, it's like you don't see them until they're swatched. You don't see them till they're on the eye. Like, that's when these shine, obviously, because if not, you can't really see them when they're just, like, in the pan. But this is another just stunning, stunning shade. It's really pretty, actually. I think that they just look boring, but just, oh, special. Secrets is absolutely stunning if you're looking for something more that's flipping all in the cool tone. So if you have a cool toned eye but you want something kind of fun, this would be great. Really, really like that one. I tend to like the iridescent shades with that tealy blue-green to them. That's one of my favorite shifts. All right, next is called Hopeful. This one also has a turquoise shift, but it also has a pink and blue shift to it as well. I get a lot of green though. This is coming off very like watermelon-y, pinky green to me, as opposed to teal or really even blue. Yeah, you can see a ton of that green. And then there you can see the tiniest bit of that pink coming through as well. This one's really pretty, maybe not as vibrant as some of the other ones. Really what you're getting is that green, but it's kind of a little bit more subtle, so maybe a good one. I think this would be good for like the brow bone. Usually I wouldn't put a shade like this on the brow bone because, you know, it is multi-chrome, but something about this one seems like I would maybe try it and it'd have that flash of green if you look at me a certain way, you know? But that one is Hopeful. This next one is called Crushing. This is an orange with yellow, gold, and slight light green shifts. And I'm definitely picking up on the orange and the green, and then that gold's in there is kind of the in between the two. I'm sorry if you can hear the upstairs neighbor. She's like, I don't know what she's doing, rearranging her whole house. But that is it. Oh, really pretty. One of those, you know, orange green shifty type shades with the gold as well. I feel like depending, you might have something like this even in some of those yellow shades. I'm gonna swatch gradient just to see. Although this has a little bit more of a base, I mean, similar colors going on, you know what I mean? But if you want something transparent in the base, then maybe crushing is more your style. But if you don't mind the base, then maybe you would just be fine with gradient. You know what I mean? It kind of depends on your preference. They're slightly different, don't get me wrong, but it's pretty interesting to see how something that looks like this and something that looks like this can look so similar in the swatches though, because these have just so much of that multi-chrome going on, but just that transparent base. Okay, next is called Coated. This is an orange with yellow and light shifts of light green. Again, kind of similar description as Crushing. So I'm definitely gonna share and show both of them. This one seems more like what I was talking about with that like kind of, there's something kind of velvet looking about this or blurred almost, like it's shiny, but it's like they're all kind of pulsating and velvet on the same level, but not this electricity going through it. Does that even make sense what I just said right now? Probably not, but I'm trying to paint you the picture that this feels more velvety instead of super shiny than the last one and then some other shades. Okay, so let's put Crushing next to it. Oh my God. No, that's not Thunder. That's the upstairs neighbor. Okay. This is Crushing and this one is Coated. I feel like they're very similar. I think that Coated maybe has like more of a green to it. I feel like Crushing is more even between the orange and the gold and the green. This has a strong green flip to it. So yeah, and they don't flip exactly the same colors in the same way, but they flip the same colors overall when they're flipping. Again, hopefully that makes sense, but yeah, maybe you don't need both of them, but if you want something more intense with the green, I would go with Coated, and if you like something a little more even keel, I'd go with Crushing. Next is the shade Falling. This is described as a turquoise blue with a purple and blue shift. This is just another one of those ones I love. I love like that teal, purple, blue kind of shift on these types of iridescence. Like that's just tends to be what I go for. It's just so pretty. It's like neon lights. I love it. I love that one. It definitely has like that strong tealy green shift on it though. Super stunning. I'm gonna swatch it next to Secrets because I feel like they'd be, yeah, they're kind of similar. Like look, this one is, shoot, I think this one's Secrets. I think this one is Falling and this one's Secrets, but we'll make sure we know. So this is Falling, and we'll just use a new finger, and this will be Secrets here. So this is Falling, this is Secrets. I mean, you guys, they're very similar. I don't think you need both. I really don't. I mean, I think they're stunning. I like both of them. I feel like the main difference I could say is that Secrets has like a purple to it that I don't quite see in Falling. Falling has more of like a silvery pink. That is a difference. That is the difference I can see and tell you about, but I would say overall, very similar. If I had to pick one, I think I'd pick Secrets, honestly, over Falling. I just love that purple with it. It's something kind of fun. So yeah, that's what I would go with. I'd go with Secrets over Falling if I had to pick one. The second to last shade is called Smooth. This is a metallic silver with a pink, green, and yellow shift to it. And you're definitely getting that kind of orange, green, pink going on. Maybe not, I don't see as much gold. I definitely see almost like an orange. Again, this is so pretty. I really do like it. I just feel like I see so many of the orange, green, pink shifts that I would hate for people to get something so similar. I'm trying to think of something I could swatch. That one's definitely more yellow, so there's that. Oh no, that's different. Okay, all right. It's looking different than some of the other ones I swatched from the Fantasy collection earlier in the video, so that's good. It's beautiful. Like, they're all so stunning. I really don't think that you would be disappointed in any of them. I just want to try to give you as much so you don't get something too similar, too duplicate if you don't want that, is what I'm trying to do. I feel like specifically with Iridescent Multichromes, it is hard to figure out how similar they are, even for me here in person. So I know it must be difficult online. All right, so that one is Smooth. The last shade is called Indulge. This is a pink with a green and yellow shift on it. I definitely feel like this one picks up on that pink the most, like that's the dominant color, but then you see this like yellowy gold. I don't get a ton of green. I want to swatch the one we just put up next to it to kind of see. So this one is Smooth, this one's Indulge. Like they're different. I'm telling you, because I had these all and I was like, okay, what is similar? And I was just doing that before, you know? And then I was like, no, they all are different. And they all are. They definitely all are. It's just they're similar-ish colors. They switch different colors at different times, but all within that same color family. So I really love, and I'm still gonna say, Quartz is my fave. I just think it's really, really pretty. And I feel like if you have quartz, unless you're gonna go with something with totally different things or maybe more of the tealy purple ones, I think that one's stunning, especially if you don't have a lot of these iridescent multichromes. I think that would be a good place to start with quartz as a 0.2 a shade that looks like absolutely every other one here. But quartz is just, I like that one. It's very golden. It looks very gold on camera, but to me it's looking very green and pink and almost purpley. Beautiful. And now to swatch them all out on my arm, so hopefully that will help. Also, you can kind of see the differences between all of these. All right, so there they are all swatched out. I feel like you can see the biggest difference, honestly, from this overhead view, way more than even from my own personal view of my own arm. So hopefully that will be helpful. I'm gonna read them off really fast. This one is Quartz. This one is Secrets. This one is Hopeful. This one is Crushing. This one is Coated. This one is Falling. Then this one is Smooth, and this one is Indulge. So they are all really pretty. Again, I think these are just like sneaky to me in my brain because all I see is the white, but you know, seeing these swatches, they're stunning. When I think of the other multichromes that exist, it just feels like a lot, and I just feel even overwhelmed again having them myself. So yeah, hopefully this will be helpful, but I'm gonna do some close-up. Let's see them up close and personal. These are almost like, they look almost like Eastery pastel type stuff because of that transparent base, but depending on if you put these over like a darker matte, they're gonna definitely transform as well that way. So those are the newest Iridescent Multichromes in the line. All right, guys, I really hope that this was helpful and, you know, especially in conjunction with the other Shine by SD swatch videos I've done. I will try, as always, to leave little asterisks next to like my top favorites in the collections. And yeah, I'm really excited that so many of these duochromes were just so beautiful, and I'm really happy that you could get them at a really nice price point, I feel like, especially in comparison with some of the more expensive shadows, definitely, that are in the other collections. So anyway, I'm sure this video is long enough, so I'm gonna end this portion here. I'm gonna do a quick eye look featuring something in here. I don't know what yet. I kind of am gravitating to that, but also this pink is calling my name, so I'm not sure. But let's just get into the tutorial. All right, I hope you can't hear the construction going on, but I'm gonna get started. I am really tempted to use this shade on like all over my lid. I think it will just be so freaking pretty. And maybe I'll try to do some pink with it. We'll see. That's kind of what I'm gravitating to initially. But I definitely want to bring some mattes in, so I'm going to use the Huda Beauty Rose Quartz palette. I'm going to go into this like pinky mauve shade first because I do want to kind of lean more toward the pink and purple side. I've already laid down a base. This one's just from Sigma. I've been really enjoying like cream shadow sticks as not only like a bit of a colored base to lay down, but also to like stop creasing. And I'm just gonna blend that into my crease. For my outer corner, I'm gonna use that dark purple. It's called Mantra, and I'm just kind of underpainting so we have something kind of dark out there. Duochromes tend to look different over darker bases, so I want the outer part of my eye to have that base down so it can give the dimension. And I'm still just going kind of light and wispy with it, but just a little bit darker, obviously, than this side. Now that I have that bit of a base down, I'm gonna just go in with that shade Ring the Alarm. Look at that. I'm going to be tapping that onto my lid. I'm not laying down more of a base. You could add like a sticky primer. If you especially have trouble with eyeshadows staying on, or you really want to make sure you don't get any fallout, or you really want to make sure you're going to have your shadows last all day, I definitely suggest that. I like the more blended out look that not having a sticky primer gives me. So that's usually why I opt out. If I were doing something super long lasting, or if that's like my main goal, I would do it, but this seems to really work for what I want out of my shadows. And I'm just tapping it everywhere over the last portion of my eye, and then as I have less product on my finger, I kind of blend up a bit. I love that this has like a sheerness to it. It makes doing eyeshadow really easy. You don't have to be as like nervous of harsh lines. And it's just my preference. I think you guys know that at this point, but if you want something more opaque, definitely using a glitter glue, like I said, or you could use something like MAC Fix Plus and make this more opaque. Okay, it's so pretty. I love it so much. I'm gonna add my highlighter to my brow bone. I tend to usually go pretty plain on the brow bone, but I do want to shimmer, so I'm just gonna blend a little bit of this up there, and then I'm gonna go in and blend out with that first brush we used, which had that like pink purple color on it, and just kind of melt the two. I think I'm gonna add some of the pink. It's just too pretty not to. Something I like to do is add these types of colors like right here. So I'm just adding it in this top portion. It's not like the actual inner corner, it's more above it, more by the brow, and blending back. And you can see how this color has so much of that purple and blue to it. And then I'm just gonna make sure I have enough of the original color on my lid, just touching that up a bit. I do have a little tiny bit of fallout, so I'm just gonna kind of gently wipe that away. And then for my outer corner, I am gonna just add a little bit of depth, a little more. I'm gonna go back in with Mantra and that same brush I was using, and I'm just tapping over top of it. I'm not really blending. I'm just seeing if I can add a little more depth. And if you feel you need to blend, you can just blend on the very outer edge. For my inner corner, I'm gonna go in with Secrets. I think that one will look really good because it's kind of like a teal iridescent multichrome. And I'm gonna be putting that on my inner corner. Oh, it's showing up very green. That's the thing with multichromes. That's why I don't put them on my freaking brow bone usually, because you never know which color is gonna be the one that really shines. And I'm gonna take a little bit of that just to tie it in right on this outer edge, just right, kind of on the brow bone, like I just said I wouldn't, but I'm lying to you. Oh my gosh, this eye look is making me remember why I love color. Like, it's still kind of neutral though, so it's like this in between. I feel like that's really nice. For eyeliner, I have this purple one. I'm gonna use that. I kind of want to put some of that Duochrome shade we put on the lid on this, so I'm gonna try to just like blend that in. I'm gonna go back in with that deep shade and just really make sure that outer liner matches up with the top nicely and it's not weird. All right, I'm gonna add some mascara and I'll show you guys the final look. All right guys, so here is the final look. It's stunning. It's so beautiful, so sparkly. I love it so much. I went and checked it on this mirror that I always see, like my eye looks always look stunning on, and I was like, no exception, this one is stunning. And I actually really like that this is a little more green, at least straight on, because I like that. I don't know, it's something really interesting. I think it looks good with like the blue purple kind of look, and I'm glad I added it to the brow bone too. So, and you can see just that tiny bit of the pink kind of showing through. I hope it inspired you a little bit in case you have shadows at home that are similar, or you do get any of these. It's super fun just playing around and creating different color combos. All right guys, well, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope that these swatches were helpful for you in case you were wondering about some of the new shades or about existing shades or comparisons. I'm really excited to continue playing around with these and my other shadows. I'm so excited to get back to duping palettes now that I've done this setup at least once here, kind of, you know, can get back into the swing of that. So definitely more of those videos to come, hopefully more this week specifically. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and other than that, I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.